Welcome, Talmidim and Talmidot, boys and girls, to our special series on the letters of the Alef Bet. In this video series, you will learn to recognize each letter and its name and its sound, and we will also learn the special secrets behind the shapes of the Alef Bet. Did you know that our sages tell us in our Holy Torah that Hashem created the world with the power of the letters of the Aleph Bet? When we start to learn the Chumash, and we learn Chumash Bereshit, we see that Hashem created the world with 10 mamarot, 10 sayings. He said, Yehi or, let there be light. Well, the letters Aleph, Vav, Resh that make up the word or, those letters, the power of those letters, are like building blocks that create the world. So the letters of the Hebrew alphabet are very holy because these are the letters that Hashem used his creative power to create the world. Let's start from the beginning. This is the first letter, and it is called Aleph. Say with me, Aleph. Now let me introduce you to the story of the Aleph. This picture is from the book, The Articulated Aleph Bet, by my dear friend, Rabbi Mordechai Zev Nemtsov, who made these beautiful illustrations himself to explain the story of the Aleph Bet. I definitely recommend it for every Jewish home. So, what is the story of the Aleph? Well, if you look in the Aleph, you will see that the top of the Aleph is actually the letter Yud. And the bottom of the Aleph is also a letter Yud. And in the middle, there seems to be a long line, which in your imagination you might think of as a long Torah scroll, or a letter Vav, which is a straight line. You can see it more clearly on this black Aleph here. There's a Yud, and a straight line, a Vav. This is how an Aleph appears in a Torah scroll in a Sefer Torah. Boys and girls, what is the story of the Aleph? Well, in very holy writings, we learn that when Hashem created the world, the light of Hashem, the greatness of Hashem, was so great that nothing else could exist. Imagine if you would fly up in a spaceship and go next to the sun. Would you be able to exist next to the intense heat of the sun? No way! You would burn up. Well, boys and girls, the Aleph that reminds us that when Hashem created the world, he was so great that nobody else could exist. So what did Hashem do? Hashem made himself very, very small, like the letter Yud. Of course, Hashem is not a person, and he doesn't have a body, so he can't become small, because there's no body to make small. What it means is Hashem hid from us, that we cannot see how great Hashem really is. So he made himself small, like the letter Yud. Hashem is still everywhere, but we only see him in a very small way, like the littlest letter, the letter Yud. And that's the fire on the top, the small dot of fire, the small dot of Hashem's greatness that Hashem hid to make the world. And then, on the bottom, Hashem made our souls, the neshama that gives us life. Hashem created our world and our life and our soul in the Jewish body. And this Hashem made with another letter, Yud. And that is a part of Hashem, a part of Hashem's greatness, Hashem put inside me and you that we have within us a connection to Hashem in our holy soul that gives us life. But there's only one problem. We can't see Hashem. Wherever we look, we just see the world that Hashem made. It's beautiful, but we don't see the creator, the artist that made it. So how could the bottom yud, our neshama, our soul, connect with Hashem, the top yud, the creator of the world? That's why Hashem gave us a special gift, His holy Torah, that this Torah connects us, the bottom yud, our soul, with the top yud, Hashem's great light. And when we learn the Torah, we find a connection to Hashem, and we learn how to live our life the way Hashem wants. Here are some other cool Alef facts for you found in the book, The Articulated Alphabet. First of all, check out all these different versions of the Alef. This is the Alef as it would be written in a Torah, according to the Ashkenazic tradition, by Jews that came from Europe, Germany, France, Russia, Poland, etc. This is the Alef as it would be written in the Torah, with the Sephardic tradition, Jews that came from Spain, Portugal, Italy, and other different countries in the Middle East. This is how we typically write it in a Siddur, how you usually see an Alef. And then a block Alef, very simple Alef that you could mainly trace with your pen. And when you get a little older, you might learn that there is Rashi script, how it's printed in older Svarim that were trying to save space. So they made a special script so that they could fit more letters. And then the handwriting, when you learn how to write in cursive Hebrew writing, that is how it's written. But you don't have to know that for now, because now we are just learning how to read. So, the Alef, another secret of the Alef, is that, remember how I told you that the top and the bottom are the letter Yud, and the middle is the letter Vav. Well, boys and girls, Talmidim and Talmidot, let me tell you something really cool. Did you know that every letter in Hebrew equals a number? The first letter of the Aleph Bet, of course, equals 1. Aleph equals 1. However, the letter Yud, being the 10th letter, equals 10. So Yud on top and Yud on the bottom is 10 plus 10. Do you know what 10 plus 10 is? Yes, you probably do. It's 20. And the letter Vav, being the 6th letter of the Aleph Bet, you guessed it, equals 6. What's 20 plus 6? Yes, I'm sure you figured it out. 26. So Yud 10 plus Yud 10 plus Vav 6 equals 26. Great. What's special about the number 26? Well, in the first letter in the Torah, Hashem is hiding His name. Hashem's name is in the first letter because Hashem's name equals the number 26. How do we see that? If you were to write Hashem's name in the special name of Hashem that we're not supposed to pronounce, where there's a Yud and a Hey and a Vav and a Hey, let's count it up. Yud equals 10. Hey is the 5th letter, so it's 5. Vav is 6, so let's do 10 plus 5 is 15. Add another 6, and you get 21. Add another 5, and you get 26. So Hashem's name equals 26, the same number as an Aleph. This is called Gematria. Gematria is the system of numbers of the Hebrew Aleph Bet. Now, boys and girls, this name of Hashem, a Yud and a Hey and a vav and a hey is a name of Hashem that we're not supposed to write except in a holy book like a Torah or a Siddur or a Chumash. We're not supposed to write it in our notes or anything like that, because if you write it, you cannot erase it. And the paper that it's written on needs to be respectfully buried and saved. And we also do not read it. Instead of saying that name, we say a different name. We say Ado and Nai. What Adon means is master. Adon and then Nai, which also we shouldn't say the full name unless we're doing tefillah or learning a whole pasuk of the Torah, means my master. But just like you don't call, let's say, your father and mother, you say maybe Abba, Ima, Mom, Dad, but you don't call them by their first name. That wouldn't be respectful. This name is the letter of Hashem. That's Hashem's name, and we do not say it. We just call him Hashem or Adon and then Nai, but we don't say that name. Now you know some of the beautiful secrets of the Aleph. And now, boys and girls, I want you to practice reading the Aleph. This practice page is very easy because there's only one letter, but I want you still to do it. I'm going to read each letter and I want you to repeat after me. Aleph, 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 Aleph. Great job. You have practiced the letter Aleph. Now it's time to go on to the next letter.